Hello everybody, welcome to Circuit the Spa-Francorchamps in Belgium, host of round 3 and round 5 in the VOR Euro and Main Series. We've got a double header coming up tonight. The Euro Series race will be 21 laps long, the Main Series race will be 35 laps long. This is the longest track on the schedule as well, so expect some good high-speed racing. Going into turn 1, late on the brakes, trying to get as close to the inside wall as possible, going all the way over the curves in Lasur's Hairpin, setting yourself up for the run down to Eau Rouge and up to Radion here. Very important to get a good exit out of turn 1. This is going to set yourself up for one of the main overtaking opportunities around the track onto the Camel Straight. Push to pass will be used here to make a move, perhaps at the start, probably later on in the race as well. It's important to outbrake the car in front to get up the inside or go around the outside of Les Combes here. If you're on the inside, it's an easy move. If you hang it around the outside, you get the inside part for the second section of that corner. Going up to the downhill right-hander now. Very long corner. The car really wants to understeer out wide, so you gotta watch the speed you carry into the corner. There you go. Pretty nice and tidy line here through the curbs and the white lines. Getting right onto the curbs at the exit of no-named corner. Going up to Pouhon now. And this is another braking zone where you can perhaps save some fuel to extend your tire stint. The reds will be falling off pretty quickly, so it's important to get off them as soon as possible and maybe save some fuel on the blacks. Going into the second chicane here, setting yourself up for the final part of the lap. The tires will be overheating a little bit towards the end of the lap, so going through a Stafilo here, it's always a bit tricky with wheel spin, but going onto the back straightaway here, this gives the tires a nice opportunity to cool down a little bit again for the bus stop chicane. This is the second overtaking opportunity around the track, which the drivers will probably be using into the bus stop chicane. Through Blanchimont first here though. And now up to the bus stop chicane. Again, you can lift and coast here to save fuel, but this is probably the highlight of the track for overtaking. Into the bus stop chicane, gotta set your car up straight for the exit here to get a nice exit and not spin up the wheels. And there you go, that's a pretty nice exit and a pretty nice lap as well at Spa. Hope to see you all tonight for the Euro Series and the Main Series. Good evening everybody, welcome to Circuit the Spa-Francorchamps here in Belgium for the Belgian Grand Prix. It is the first of two races here tonight. We got the Euro Series up first, and then later tonight we got the main IndyCar series, which you can watch on Captain Esports Network by the way. But we got the Euro Series here today. For you guys, this is round 3 of the season, out of 8 races in total of course on the schedule. We are here at Circuit the Spa-Francorchamps. And let's take a quick look at the track, as cars are already out on track for qualifying. Of course, we've got the Belgian Grand Prix tonight. Next week we have no race, but after that we return to Indianapolis for the road course and then followed up by the oval right away. After that we've got Road Atlanta, Oscar Fredrickson's favorite track, and he's won the first 2 races of the season. So he is looking forward to that. Then we got Watkins Glen after another week break, and then the final race of the season at Auto Club Speedway. So 2 ovals, 6 road courses, with 4 tracks on the schedule lined up with the main series, so that's going to be great. 4 double headers on the schedule for us with the main and the Euro series, so that's all exciting. Quickly going to look at the track map here today. 19 corners, 10 to the left and 9 to the right. Many overtaking opportunities, especially down into turn 1, turn 5 and turn 18 as well, but of course the straights are so long you can really overtake anywhere, so it's going to be a great race. 10 push to pass pushes and a fuel window of 12 to 14 laps should make this a quick sprint of a one-stop strategy from the alternates to the primaries I'm expecting myself. Maybe we'll see something different, we'll have to wait and see. But let's go to qualifying right away then, here at Spa. And let's see who we can pick up here as the cars are out on track. Let's bring up the overlays here as well. Please let me know if the audio levels are alright. Made some further changes after last week. Found out my mic was a little bit too quiet compared to the sim. So please let me know if the audio levels are all correct, if you can hear the sim just below my voice. If the game is too quiet, let me know. If my mic is too loud or too quiet, also let me know, please. But like I said, this is round 3 of the season. Oscar Fredrickson won the first 2 races at Silverstone and Zandvoort. And we have some new faces to this series in particular. Not new faces to VOR on its own, but we do have a few different people in the session here at the moment. Which include Tarek Majid, he's a new driver, I believe, in the league. I think that's how you pronounce his name. Sorry if I did mispronounce that, but he is new in the league. Alex Vanderson is one of the three drivers making an appearance in the Euro Series, because we have the double header, of course, today, and the Euro Series can be used by the main drivers as kind of a practice race. So we've got Alex Vanderson in here, Joseph Rojalva, and also Gary Gotzo, who are making some practice laps, you could say. So they are kind of bringing up the car count here today, and we do have a very nice car count, I have to say. 17 cars here today, which is 7 more than last week at Zandvoort, so a great number to see. Seems perfect for the sound game ratio. Okay, thank you, Lily. Appreciate it. So that is the situation with the drivers here racing. And Alex, Joseph and Gary will not be racing for the championship. But they could, of course, take away some perhaps important points from these drivers, which is something that they have to keep in mind. As we are currently following Matthew Green here. And I know Matthew's been practicing quite a bit. And he likes his chances at a solid finish here tonight. Also last week he wasn't really on the pace, but when he did some more laps after the session, he found himself setting some relatively nice lap times. And I think that gave him some extra motivation to practice for this week, which I think is going to show in this qualifying session already. But Oscar Fredriksson to the provisional pole with a 56.5, very solid lap time. Sepp Kinder currently in P2, 1.1 seconds behind. This is a very long track, 7 kilometers in length. So the gaps are naturally going to be a little bit longer or bigger than they might be on a, I guess, semi-normal 5-kilometer track. As Sepp is again blinking. Hopefully that's not going to be bad news for him as the race goes on. Of course, he had some blinking issues last week and had to retire his car from the race. But Alex Vanderson goes to P2. 0.13 seconds behind Oscar. So those two currently on the front row. Lewis Woodall also out on track, making his first start in the league. Going a little bit wide onto the grass there. Don't think that's going to be a very quick lap. Let's have a look at Matt Houston and the race verse with Sunset Arctic Games car. As he slightly locks the rear tires, but keeps his car on the track. Through Lasor's hairpin here. Down to Eau Rouge. And yes, I'm going to do it at the top of the hill. That's Radion, actually. There you go. I did it. Now I'm never going to do it again. I hate that sentence. But Matt goes up the hill, down the Camel Straight. Into Le Com here. And yes, I'm doing all these corner names from the top of my head. Hopefully I do them right. I should know them. Into Le Com here. Now going into the hairpin. This is going downhill. The car wants to understeer out wide, so you really have to control the throttle to not go too wide there. As Matt does go a little bit wide there. I'm not sure if it was too wide or not. Not even sure if this is a push lap. It looks pretty solid though. Let's pick up Patrick Sulfassi. After last week's race, probably the unluckiest man of the field. He was racing with... memory just went blank. Hugo Ackerson, there you go. He was racing with Hugo Ackerson on the final lap for P3. And if you follow this series regularly, we all know what happened there. But for those that just tune into this one, Patrick Sulfassi was defending a position, went wide into turn 11 at Zandvoort. Locked up, went through the gravel. That allowed Hugo Ackerson to get close enough to try and make a pass in the final 2 corners of the final lap. And the two made contact. And Hugo Ackerson went on to finish P3. With Patrick Sulfassi just finishing in P4. But yeah, he should have been on the podium that night. And for that incident, Hugo Ackerson has gotten a EOL penalty. So he will not be allowed to post a qualifying time. He will be starting from the back of the field. Let's pick up Alex Vanderson, and I want to go on board with him. Through this hot lap. Going down Eau Rouge. staying in 5th gear up the hill. Keeping the RPMs up to get a nice top speed down the Camel Straight. And there you go, he shifts up to 6th gear really late. This was actually a story that he was talking about in the main IndyCar Discord. The shift lights are a little bit off on the IR18, of course, which is the car that we are using in this series, the IR18 IndyCar. And if you rev the car a lot, you can actually gain a few kilometers per hour down the straight. I heard it was about 2-3 kilometers per hour, which isn't much, but when you of course add it all up, it's gonna be, well, it's a track like this, maybe a 10th at most. And you're probably gonna be like, oh, it's a 10th. Well, a 10th is a 10th, and if you do it in the race, just count it all up. 21 times. That is 2.1 seconds. Wasn't the most difficult maths ever, but yeah, there you go. Ah yes, P2. Thank you, Hugo. It was for P2 the incident between Hugo Akesson and Patrick Sulfassi. Thank you for reminding me, sir. But through Blanchimont for Alex Vanderson. Into the bus stop chicane. And let's see what he can do across the line here. Shortest distance. Does he go to pole? No, he does not. He just comes a 10th of a second short on Oscar Fredriksen's time. And is Oscar on an improvement? I don't think he is. He's backing off down the straight. So that might be the qualifying session already. I'm not sure how many laps they have all done. I don't have that information available to me, unfortunately. But on board with Sepp Kinder here, through Stavelo. Top 3 currently within a second of each other. Which for Spa is actually quite close. As Sepp Kinder makes his way around the bus stop chicane. Let's see what he can do on this lap. Across the line. And he goes to nowhere, because he doesn't improve his lap time. So Sebastian Kinder stays in P4. Torin Majid stays in P5 as well. And he's actually setting up to start a lap now. All the way down to the inside wall, making the track as wide as possible. Want to see what Thomas Geisler is doing, as he is making his way around Pouhon here. As Matt Houston goes to P6. Thomas is going to finish his lap into the bus stop chicane. Across the line, is it going to be an improvement for Thomas Geisler? It is not, as far as I can tell. Let's see what Oscar Fredriksson can do here. And he has got one more lap left, I do believe. Last week's pole sitter, Hugo Akesson. Of course, got that EOL penalty. And in qualifying and the races, Hugo's only got one pole, which is the only session he really topped from Oscar Fredriksson. Oscar's been on the pole at Silverstone, won Silverstone. Of course, Hugo on pole at Zandvoort, and Oscar won at Zandvoort last week. So let's see what Fredriksson can do here. through Blanchimon. And he might have enough for the pole position as nobody else is out on track anymore with 2 minutes to go. So Oscar Fredriksson gonna come across the line here. Is it gonna be an improvement to his 156.5? It is an improvement because the delta just went up, but the lap time doesn't update itself. There you go, 156.43 is his best lap time. Just waiting for the overlay to update itself, but on the timing screen sits a 56.4, which is just over 2/10 ahead of Alex Vanderson. So good lap by Oscar Fredriksson, and I think that is going to conclude qualifying here. So unless we have a standing start all of a sudden, I'm quickly going to play a commercial break. We'll be right back for the race. So see you all in a minute or two.
Do you struggle to survive around the toughest circuits? Are you fed up of making poor mistakes that end your races? Well, here at Apex Sage Coaching, we will help you reach your full driving potential. Whether it be a road course or an oval, we have a coach that will improve your ability. Over time, we will iron out those mistakes and make you become the driver you wish to be. And soon, you'll be making last lap passes for the win. For more information, reach out to us on Twitter at Apex Sage Coach.
Hello and welcome to another fantastic week of Formula One racing here on SLR. We pride ourselves on delivering top on-track action such as overtakes.
Oh, Danny on the inside, sorry, Danny on the inside.
And of course, where would we be without some crashes and drama?
Pace around this track.
Oh, and spinning is Canopis. That's his microlander up the inside. No, Danny.
And lots more. What started out as a fun idea quickly developed and grew into one of the most influential and recognizable online F1 leagues across the F1 platform. Every new season saw more and more big names join the roster, all battling harder and harder to claim the coveted SLR title. This season will be like no other before it, the strongest lineup we have ever seen. Old champions rejoining to battle the new top dogs of SLR. All of the tiers in SLR are fielding their respective strongest to date, with much to fight for and achieve. But if you have come to witness Titans battle Titans, well, you've come to the right place. Welcome to Tier 1.
Alright everybody, welcome back to Circuit de Spa-Francorchamps. It's time for the race, the Belgian Grand Prix. There you can see the race info for tonight's race. 21 laps is the race distance, that's the scheduled race distance at least. 12 to 14 laps is the fuel window, 1 pit stop during the race, 10 pushes of up to 20 seconds on the push to pass. It's going to be a difficult race on the tires, so that's something to watch as well. And of course, with the new tire model update, it is going to be a bit of an unknown for everybody. What's going to happen with the tires. So yeah, those are the keys to the race. iRacing penalties, 14x will be a black flag and 20x will be a DQ. Which is a little bit unlikely, but you know, it just might happen. We'll have to wait and see, but of course, want to thank Apex Sage Coaching and Slipstream League Racing for sponsoring us. You saw that in the commercials, check them all out. We also got a sponsorship with Majors Garage. You can use our referral link in the description of this live stream on any Majors Garage setup shop purchases to help out both us and Majors Garage. So yeah, you can use our referral link in the description below. Also, the links to SLR and Apex Sage Coaching can be found there, by the way. So once again, thanks to Majors Garage, Apex Sage Coaching and Slipstream League Racing for being sponsors of this series. But cars are rolling for the pace lap. here at Circuit de Spa. Oscar Fredriksson and Alex Vanderson on the front row. Patrick Sulfassi, Sebastian Kinder, row 2. Matt Houston, Torren Majid, row 3. Geisler, Merckx on row 4 and row 5. Running off the top 10 will be Daniel Cofield and Matthew Green. As the field goes through the bus stop chicane, we are green from Circuit de Spa-Francorchamps. Going into turn 1, there's already chaos in the background, but Oscar Fredriksson maintains the lead as Patrick Sulfassi has been tapped around by Alex Vanderson. And did Oscar get hit there? I don't see him anymore. As Torren Majid has taken the race lead, and yes, Oscar Fredriksson involved in that turn 1 contact. So Torren Majid takes the lead after turn 1 as my voice is even cracking already. Alex Vanderson P2, Seb Kinder P3. As they're getting dicey in the background there as well. I see Daniel Cofield in the mix as they go down the Camel Straight for the first time. And Alex Vanderson is dropping lap time, so he might have a slowdown penalty. And I'm pretty sure he does have a slowdown penalty, so disaster for Oscar Fredriksson here. As Alaric van den Bos has already shown us out of the race, Oscar Fredriksson, I believe, has towed to the pits. Patrick Sulfassi, Matthew Green and Yuka Eckerson as well, as Lewis Woodall makes a move for P9, getting by Gary Gotso. What a start here at Spa, guys! So in all of that, as we come towards the third sector, I'm going to use the F1 sectors here, not iRacing. As we come into the third sector here almost, Torren Majid leads from Seb Kinder, Thomas Geisler, Daniel Cofield, Sven Merckx in P5, Thomas Jensen P6, Alex Vanderson P7, Matt Houston P8, Gary Gotso 9th and Joseph Grajalfa P10. As we have more people dropping down in the leaderboard, we'll get up some replays as soon as possible. As we go into the bus stop for the first time, Seb Kinder closing in under the brakes. Thomas Geisler also really late on the brakes. Closing in quite a bit there. As Torren Majid leads his first ever lap in the VOR IndyCar Euro Series. In his first start as well, I have to add. As Seb Kinder slightly locks the rear tyres, it seems. Going down the hill once again. 20 laps to go. Like I said, it is a short sprint to the checkered flag with one pit stop. As Seb Kinder is going to line up Torren Majid for an overtake for the race lead. As Seb pulls to the inside line with a lot of overspeed there. I think the move is already going to be done before the braking zone. He is ahead and he is playing it safe, leaving plenty of space for Torren Majid. Of course, those two haven't really raced each other yet, as Torren is a new driver to the series. But Seb Kinder with a nice clean pass getting into the race lead. As Torren is having a look there to retake that lead. And the key thing to mention, by the way, I just noticed, Seb Kinder is on the Firestone Reds, the alternate tires, and Torren Majid is on the blacks. As well as Thomas Geisler, as he's having a look. And excuse me, Thomas Geisler is on the Reds. As Thomas Geisler is really closing down that gap to Torren Majid in Pujon there. So clearly a little bit faster at the moment. As we have multiple people a lap down at the moment. Just want to keep an eye on this battle though before we bring up any replays, because this is looking very interesting indeed. As Thomas Geisler gets a nice exit. Going into Blanchimont for the second time here tonight. And I want to see if he's on the push to pass or not. No, he is not. Again, 10 pushes of push to pass, which gives you a horsepower boost to try and pass the car in front, as Seb Kinder blinks out for a second there. And Seb Kinder did have a 7/10 gap to P2, but that's all gone now. After maybe a slight mistake into the bus stop chicane, as Torren Majid is right behind. Onto the Camel Straight again. I don't think anyone's close enough to make a move yet. So let's quickly see further down. who might be close to one another. I don't see anyone actually quite close to each other. So let's bring up the replays from the start. If I can even find it. There's so many incident reports on the race director from SDK Gaming. So I quickly have to look for the actual start to happen. So let's go to the end of the page lap with Hugo Akesson here. Everybody packing up to get ready for the race start. And actually, let me get a TV angle from this. Hugo Akesson on the inside line, and I think it was Joseph Grajalva and Matthew Green making contact there in the final corner. Let's see what happened here. And Joseph Grajalva, yeah, he tried to get back up to the pack, and Matthew Green came to the inside of the track to, I think, get a nice exit to start the race with, but of course we all know what happened there, as there's chaos in the back. Matthias Strauss also involved in that. So there you can see the two cars colliding in front, and Matthias Strauss driving around it pretty nicely as the field goes green there. So let's go to the turn 1 incident here with Patrick Sulfassi. Getting onto the brakes, and I think he just locked the rear tire. Oh, he actually gets tapped by Alex Vanderson, and that collects Oscar Fredriksson, who is just completely innocent. And oh, that's Matt Houston going straight on in turn 1 as well. So quite a chaotic start. I want to go on board with Alex Vanderson here. That's the wrong driver. Hello, Alex. Can I go on board with you, please? Let's go back again. So here we go. Patrick leaves the lane open to the outside, but Alex Vanderson just misjudges his braking point there, and that was kind of the incident right there. And oh, Thomas Gijs has just lost time as well. He is 3 seconds behind. He was just in P3 a moment ago. Let's see what happened to him. And I have to say, I apologize if I missed anything on the replays. It's just so hard to keep up. Alright, let's see what happened here to Thomas Geisler. As we go through Blanchimont here into the bus stop chicane. Got Sepp Kinder ahead of Tara Majid just up ahead. And into the bus stop chicane. Ooh, Tara Majid and Sepp Kinder getting quite close to each other. But at this point, of course this is a replay, this was about a 5-car group. And is Thomas going to lock up the rears? Not sure if he does. It's quite strange what happened to him here. He's already dropped a position. It's a bit odd. As Sven Merckx gets around him as well. Back to live pictures here. As we see Matt Houston with some slight front wing damage. That might be from the start of the race already. So he's looking to get to the end of his stint. It's so hard to keep up with everything that's happened in this race. It's unbelievable. Anyway, Thomas Gijs are under pressure from Thomas Jensen right behind. As Thomas goes through the grass there. I think he was a little bit too busy looking in his mirrors. And Thomas Jensen goes by for P5. And in all of that, Tara Majid went by Sepp Kinder for the race lead again. As Sepp Kinder's red tires are starting to fall off. So Tara Majid to the race lead on the primary blacks. There he goes. And he is already starting to pull away a little bit from Sepp Kinder. So Tara with a pretty solid pace at the moment. Got Daniel Kohlfeldt right behind as well, who is trying to make up some ground. And at the moment, the biggest mover in the race, Thomas Jensen up 8. Second biggest mover is Daniel Kohlfeldt in P3, up 7 positions from where he started tonight's race. I just remembered. It's always been Gavin Sanders or Oscar Fredrickson winning a race, with Lewis Woodall being an exception at Phoenix in Season 2. So we could see a first-time winner here tonight. Well, actually, let me change that to we will see a first-time winner here tonight. As Oscar Fredrickson is a lap down, he's never going to make that up. Especially not around Spa. The track is simply too long to make a pace difference that big. But Daniel Cofield lining up Sepp Kinder for P2, as we also have a battle going on in the background between the two teammates. Thomas Jensen lining up Sven Merckx as he gets by. But Daniel Cofield not close enough to Sepp Kinder to make a move. But like I said, Thomas Jensen is by his teammate. So he's up 9 positions now, Thomas Jensen that is. Driving for the Platinum Racing team. Doing a great job out there tonight. As I believe Thomas Geisler is struggling a little bit with his tires. We saw him right up there in the top 3 and he's just fallen off the cliff there, I think. And really dropping a lot of lap time. Quickly want to go through some more replays from lap 1. As I think the race is somewhat calmed down for just a second. So let's bring up a replay from lap 1 with Lewis Woodall. He's got no rear wing on the car. And I think he's going to spin himself out through Stavelo here. Because there's no rear downforce. And yes, he does. There he goes. Boom, into the wall. It's very easy to overdrive the car when you don't have a rear wing on the car. As Joseph Grajalva without a left side of the front wing goes into the bus stop. Did he crash into the pit wall? I think he did. Oh, he did not. Okay. But yeah, some damage for Joseph Grajalva trying to drive it down into the pit lane. Not the night he had hoped for. Trying to run the same setup as the main series does tonight. So yeah, Grajalva on the back foot with some damage. I have to say though, Turan Majid doing an awesome job right now, leading the race here at Spa. From what I know at least, he's never really raced the IndyCar before. So to just step into a new series with a lot of unfamiliar faces, of course he does know Daniel Cofield, we're all from the SLR F1 community. Turan, Daniel, myself, and I believe Hugo also. And Matthias Strauss as well, as Matthew Green and Patrick Sulfassi. So a lot of these drivers know each other from SLR, which is of course one of our sponsors. They sponsor all of our races. It is an F1 2021 PC league, so make sure to check it out. Torin actually broadcasts a few races for them as well. So yeah, great to see him driving here tonight and doing really well as well. I'm certainly enjoying watching him drive around at the moment. As Daniel Cofield did get by Sepp Kinder there just a moment ago. Let's see the pass for P2. There he goes in the bus stop chicane to the outside line. Very nice move there by Daniel Cofield. Of course, Sepp didn't challenge that too much, but to set up the move is 50% of the job. So great job by Daniel to get that position. As Sepp Kinder is under some slight pressure as well now from Thomas Jensen, as he closes the gap down in the braking zone. And at this point in the race, the Reds will be completely shot for all of these drivers that are on the Reds. With the new iRacing tire model update, the tires really fall off a lot more, especially the alternate tires, the Reds. Really after lap 5, it's just a matter of trying to hold on to the car without crashing. And I think he's gonna get swallowed up here by Thomas Jensen. No, he does not. Manages to stay ahead for the time being. I actually want to go on board with Sven Merckx here on the Reds. Let's see how he tackles the circuit de Spa-Francorchamps here. Let's bring up a different graphic here that I haven't really used at all. So you can see Sven Merckx losing time to Thomas Geisler in the last few laps. And Thomas Geisler is catching up that gap now. The last lap the difference was 3/10. Advantage for Sven Merckx actually that time around. So it's very interesting to see the tyre wear playing a part in this race. Also want to go on board with Gary Godzilla here. And what I'm about to say is not in a rude way, but to see Gary up here on the lead lap is honestly great to see. I know Gary, he's a good friend of mine. He's a very experienced oval driver. He barely does any road courses. And to pick up Spa, not the easiest track at all. Of course, it's very high speed, but still, you really just have to nail the lap to be anywhere near competitive. So Gary is doing an excellent job here to drive in P9. Just running his own race, that's what he told me before the race. But he's doing that really well. He's only a minute behind the race leader after 9 laps. And again, going back to what I just said, I don't mean this in a rude way, but for a full-time oval driver, this is really an impressive performance by Gary. So hopefully for Gary he keeps this up, because I'm very happy to see him doing this well. Also considering he doesn't really like running road courses, but he does need to run this one to practice for tonight's race. Which is a little bit longer in distance, but is using the same setups. More or less, because I just realized I forgot to change the setups for this session. Forgot to open up the radiators for this one. It doesn't really make a big difference, but still. So sorry guys, to all the drivers, I forgot to do that. Shouldn't really play too much of a factor in this one anyway, because the race distance is a little bit shorter. That's all for engine temperatures. Which, again, shouldn't really affect this race too much at all. So currently the gap's pretty far spread out. Oh! There you go. I like that Torren actually entered his SDK information. So he's won 2 of the 3 Triple Crown races. Le Mans and the Indy 500. Of course, you can't really win the Monaco Grand Prix on iRacing yet. iRacing, please add Monte Carlo. You know, it will be nice. So yeah. Torren, if he wins a race at Monaco on iRacing, if Monaco ever gets onto iRacing, he could win the Triple Crown. So there you go. Daniel Cofield here. That's still showing his info from last season, okay. But yeah, Daniel races in SLR like I said, and hasn't really had the best of seasons this season, unfortunately. Not really going his way, but he's doing very well in the VOR IndyCar Euro Series for sure, as he is driving in P2 again. And he has been on or around the podium in the first 2 races as well, so doing an excellent job. Thomas Jensen from, how do you pronounce this, Sebi? I have no idea. Anyways, some information about Thomas Jensen. Yes. Sven Merckx currently P4 from Roermond, and he's got a beautiful Scott McLaughlin profile picture there in the 66 car for the Platinum Racing team. And he finished P3 last week to complete a double podium for the Platinum Racing Team Blue, with Hugo Ackerson in P2, who of course got a post-race penalty for this race, the EOL penalty. But yeah, that was the first double podium for the Platinum Racing Team, so congratulations to them and Marnix who is the team captain. Matt Houston currently driving in P5 for Team Race Road with Sunset Arctic Games from Indianapolis, Indiana in the USA. And I believe he's also just getting some practice laps in for tonight's race at Spa. Of course, Matt is a full-time runner in this series. As Sven Merckx makes his way down pit road, 11 laps to go. He has decided it's been enough, so he's going to go to the primary tires to finish off this race. As Alex Vanderson continues for another lap from Zionsville, Indiana, making his first start in the series. He actually races for the Three Crowns Racing team in the top split in the fixed series and also the open series, I do believe. And he also races in ISOWC, which is, well, let's say one of the better leagues out there. And he's doing very well in those leagues as well, so very competitive and talented driver, Alex is. Seb Kinder from Servon-Zuivillers. Lily in chat, I know you two are family. Please tell me if I pronounced that right or if I did that terribly, terribly wrong. I did try my best, so hopefully you guys appreciate the effort. But yeah, Seb from France, driving in the Euro Series, of course, being from Europe himself, so doing a decent job in P6 at the moment. Thomas Geisler from Aachen in Germany, also for Team Race First with Sunset Arctic Games in P7. He spun on the opening lap last week and still came home in P6. So he definitely has the pace to set some good results. And Gary Godzilla from Westfield, Indiana. Like I just said, he isn't really an road course racer at all. More on the oval side of things. So Gary doing a very good job to learn this track and just running his own pace and still being well inside the top 10. So doing a very nice job indeed there. Jukka Åkesson in the pits from Stockholm in Sweden. And I'm not sure if that's for damage or not, but going back to the race leaders here quickly. We saw the gap come down to about 1.4 seconds just a moment ago. So Daniel Colefield is slowly closing in that gap. As I think Daniel just had a little wiggle on the top of Radion there. Lily said my pronunciation was pretty good, so I'll take that. It's really hard to like try and talk in sort of a French accent. It's really difficult to do. You would have thought me being in Belgium for the Belgian Grand Prix in real life would allow me to pick up that French accent a little bit, but it clearly didn't. Sven Merckx just pitted a moment ago, and he is right behind Thomas Geisler here, who is still out on track on the blacks, I do believe. I don't think he pitted yet. I'm fairly confident that he didn't pit yet. So these two pretty close together. Thomas going slightly wide there. And I'm going to keep an eye on this little battle for the time being, because they are the two closest cars on the track at the moment. Daniel Colefield closing in. You can look at the timing tower there on the left hand side. 1.4 seconds is the gap now. That's down 2/10 from the start of the lap, and it just like that it goes up to 1.7 again. And now it comes back down again, so they're playing around a little bit with the gaps. Oh, that was pit stops. Okay, I missed that actually. So Turan Majid and Daniel Colefield just came out of the pits. Alex Vanderson takes over the race lead. He is yet to pit, I do believe, as He has a car right on his gearbox. I think that's a car trying to unlap himself. He's got to be careful. You're almost bum drafting Alex Vanderson along the Camel Straight. And Alex lets the... is that the 21 of Hugo Ackerson? I think it is. He lets him go there. Yes, it was Hugo Ackerson. Unlapping himself, so he's back on the lead lap. And Tyrrell Magid through the pit cycle actually gained a second on Daniel Cofield there. So doing a good job in the pit stops. And Torren is closing down that gap again to Alex. Of course, he is still yet to pit. But still. Haven't really used this view yet. Not quite a cockpit cam, but it gets close. Basic. Oh, shoo! That was close. With who was that? Was that Hugo Ackerson that just went around? I think it was. That was a bit scary there for Tyrrell Magid. He probably needs a new pair of underpants after that one. Oh, that was close. So Alex Vanderson gonna come down to pit road this time by. There he goes. So Tyrrell Magid gonna retake the race lead here. With 8 laps to go. Coming on across the line for 7 laps to go. Question mark, or did it already update? I didn't see. It already updated. Okay, sorry. 8 laps to go. As Alex Vanderson is gonna come into the pits. And he's gonna drop down to, I believe, P8. And the top 3 right now within a second of each other. Tyrrell Magid on the red tyres. He's got to make sure that he makes these tyres last until the end of the race. He's got Daniel Cofield and Thomas Jensen right behind him as well, on the reds as well. But then you've got Seb Kinder. There you go, he's on the blacks. And they are slower in the first few laps, but they do cross over eventually when the blacks become a lot quicker than the reds. We saw that in the first stint, the reds just completely falling off the cliff. Drivers on the blacks often being around a second or 2 quicker per lap. So Seb Kinder is not entirely out of this one yet. But let's go back to the battle for the race lead, as these 3 are really close on track right now. Yes, it was scary with the camera angle there. It had me so excited I almost said a bad word there, but managed to stop myself from that. Anyways, going down into Blanchimont again. Daniel Cofield in the slipstream, closing down that gap. Let's go on board with Daniel Cofield here into the bus stop chicane. Torren defending the inside line. Beautifully defends the middle of the track there, giving Daniel nowhere to go but to lift off and try again later on. But Daniel Cofield right now, the faster car at the moment. Trying to make a move on Tyrrell Magid. As Torren goes a little early on the brakes, but Daniel Cofield didn't really get the best of exits there. But he is on the push to pass now as we go down the hill into Eau Rouge. Then up the hill again, up to Radion. Torren using all of the track available. Daniel Cofield on the push to pass. And I think he is going to go for the race lead here pretty much surely. Torren defending the middle of the track again. Here we go. And Torren holds on to the inside line, defends the position. Oh, this is awesome to watch, guys. Battle for the race win. It is going to be a first time winner. Not going to be 3 in a row for Oscar Fredriksson, but this is a beautiful fight for the race win here at Belgium. At Spa in Belgium. As I'm losing my mind right now watching this race. Thomas Jensen closing in that gap as well. Seb Kinder dropping back a little bit. But like I was explaining a few moments ago, the reds are a little bit quicker than the blacks for a few laps, but then the reds start to fall off. So Seb's just got to stay where he is, wait for the reds to fall off, and then start pushing, closing down that gap and challenge for the race lead perhaps later on in the race with a few laps to go. As Matt Houston makes his way around Sven Merckx for P6 off screen there. And he's actually closing up to his teammate Thomas Geisler as well now, so Team Racewear is on for another solid finish, P5 and P6 at the moment. As Daniel Kofi goes a little bit wide there, that's going to allow Thomas Jensen to set him up for the front straight into turn 1. Thomas Jensen almost on the gearbox of Daniel Kofi into turn 1. Thomas Jensen thinking about sending it, but deciding not to. On board with Thomas Jensen in the 99. 6 laps to go that time around. And I don't think Daniel Kofi is close enough to make a move on Tara Majid there. He might also have run out of push to pass. He's not using it at the moment. And Thomas Jensen also not close enough to make a move on Daniel Cofield. And I have to say I'm very impressed with Tara Majid's drive at the moment. Currently leading the race. In his first IndyCar race with VOR at least. I'm not sure what he's done in the past with other leagues or official series or anything like that. But I'm going to assume it's one of his first few starts ever in an IndyCar. And it's safe to say that he is very impressive here at Spa. It's a track that he does know from the F1 game, so that helps a little bit. But of course, learning this car is a completely different animal than the F1 games. Matt Houston is slowly closing into his teammate. We'll have to wait and see if Geisler's going to let Houston by there for some team orders. It doesn't really make a difference for the team's championship, but who knows for the drivers' championship. Oh, bit of overstay there for Yuga Akison in the background, who is a lap down. So 5 laps to go now. And Daniel Kofi is really putting on the pressure again on Tara Majid here for the race lead. Oh, Daniel getting a lot of speed on Torin there. And he's already going to pull alongside as we go onto the Camel Straight. Daniel to the outside line. Torin on the inside line. Can he brake as late as he did a lap ago? 2 laps ago. Yes, he does go late on the brakes, but Daniel Kofi goes around the outside of Lecombe there to pull off a pass for the race lead, as there's a little bit of contact between Thomas Jensen and Tara Majid, but Daniel Kofi goes into the race lead here at Spa with 5 laps to go. And Torin has got to try to stay close to Daniel now to maybe repass him again on the next lap, but Daniel's pulling away slowly. 6/10 is the gap already. And Sepp Kinder isn't really putting on a challenge for these guys, so I think the race for the win is going to be between these 3 drivers. And it might just be Daniel Kofi on his own if he keeps running away like this. Very nice. Oh, that was a close call there. Daniel Kofi almost losing the rear end there. The rear end getting all loosey-goosey for Daniel. But he holds onto the car. Great car control by the 72. Oh, beautiful shot this through Blanchimon. Tara Majid close enough to make a move. Doesn't go for it yet. As Daniel goes a little bit wide into the bus stop again. He's done that a few times already this race. And you can really see him struggling for traction down onto the front straight again. Into turn 1. Let's see if Torin can set him up for an overtake again. And like I predicted, Matt Houston going by Thomas Geisler there. Not sure if that was a legitimate pass or not. Could have been team orders, who knows. But we're going to keep an eye on this battle. Looking from the gearbox of Daniel Cofield, Turan Majid gaining speed, gaining momentum down the Camel Straight. Daniel gonna defend the inside line. He's gonna make Turan go around the long way. And holds on to the race lead for the time being. But this fight for the race win is not over yet, as the top three are still within a second of each other. And it's been like this for the last 5-6 laps already. So an awesome race here at Spa. As Alex Vanderson is closing up to Thomas Geiser as well. And you can just see how much faster Alex is at the moment. But not close enough yet to make a move. So Matt Hughes has currently got Thomas Geisler between himself and Alex Vanderson. And I think Thomas is going to try his best to hold off Alex here as long as he can to try and help Matt. But pass for the race lead as Turan Majid goes off the track there. Retakes the lead, but Thomas Jensen and Daniel Cofield going side by side into turn 1, the Lasour's hairpin. Daniel being conservative into the hairpin, and he actually gets by Thomas Jensen again, who struggles for traction on the curbs on the outside line. I'll bring up a replay from this in just a second, but Turan Majid goes back to the race lead with Daniel Cofield in P2, holding off Thomas Jensen down the Camel Straight again. And he's trying to break the slipstream there. And does so. So the order stays the same for the time being. Let's quickly have a look at the replay. Let's see what happened here. Oh, Daniel sliding his rear end around, and Turan has to take avoiding action there. Goes off the track and takes the race lead that way. And of course, Daniel defended that P2 down the straight. So a bit of a close goal for Daniel there. And he's certainly playing around with his rear end a little bit there. So he's got to watch the rear tire temperatures. And I think the sentence I just said is going to go onto the No Contact VOR Twitter account. Oof. So coming up to the final 2 laps, inside 3 at the moment. About to cross the line for 2 laps to go. Quickly want to thank our sponsors once again, Apex Age Coaching, providing the setups at a number of tracks this season. They did so at Silverstone and Zandvoort. Not this week, but they will be sometime later on in the season. Majors Garage, a annual subscription to the setup shop. And if you make any purchases, you can also use our referral code in the description to help us and Majors Garage out. So yeah, check out the Majors Garage setup shop. And also Slipstream League Racing for any F1 2021 PC League Racing. They have 4 tiers on, I believe, Wednesdays, Thursdays, Fridays and Saturdays. So 2 laps to go. Turan Majid still in the race lead. Does Daniel Cofield have something extra for the final 1.5 laps-ish to try and retake the race lead? He did have the race lead a few laps ago, but we all saw the error there in the final chicane, which gave Turan the race lead back. Daniel having a look up the inside here. Again locking the rear tires there. He's really playing around with his car all race long. As Thomas Jensen there gets a really nice exit out of no name. Gonna have a look, but not close enough. Of course, next week we don't have a race. We're off for a week. And after that we return to Indianapolis, the world's greatest race course. For the road course first up, and then the oval the week after that. And then we go to Road Atlanta. The next 2 races also lining up with the main VOR schedule. As Thomas Jensen picks up the slipstream, we're going to have a look up the inside into the bus stop chicane. Oh, Daniel Kofi locks the race again. Makes contact with Thomas Jensen there. And I think there is some slight front wing damage, but Daniel Kofi rejoins in P3. And I think this is going to secure Torin Majid's race win right now, as he's got 2.4 seconds on Thomas Jensen. But coming across the line to start the final lap, white flag is out. As Sepp Kinder goes up to P3 right now, 4.5 seconds behind the race leader. And he is on the black tires, remember, so he's going to have a good exit out of turn 1 here. Daniel Kofi under pressure from... not under pressure, that's a lapped car actually, so excuse me for that. But it's all kicking off in the final 2 laps here at Spa. And yeah, Daniel's got some front wing damage. Yeah, he is on the push to pass, trying to get by Sepp Kinder again, but he's not close enough. So Sepp Kinder, all he's got to do is try and hold on and not blink out of the session right now. I'm praying for Sepp's internet connection right now, I'm not gonna lie, but picking up Torin Majid again. Pretty much mistake free all night long. We had the start crash into turn 1, which took out the main championship contender Oscar Fredriksson and also the race winner of the past 2 races. So that opened the door for everybody else to have at least a solid chance at the race victory. And Torin Majid has been almost mistake free all night long. Very impressive drive so far, and he's just got a few more corners to go to finish off that drive into Staffelo. As Alex Vanderson has also dropped back to P8 now, so Team Racer is gonna settle for P5 and P6, I think. What happened here? Daniel Kofi going off the track. Let's quickly pick up the numbers. I didn't mean to go to the replay there. But into the final corner goes Torin Majid from the UK. In his first start in the series, he's going to go to victory lane here at the circuit of Spa-Francorchamps. An awesome drive by Torin. He takes his first win in the series. Not much else to say, just awesome. Thomas Jensen comes across the line to take P2. Sepp Kinder goes to the podium here tonight. Daniel Kofi, unfortunately for him, drops down to P4. After locking up the brakes into the bus stop chicane. As Thomas Geiser comes across the line in P5. Matt Houston takes P6. Sven Merckx P7. Alex Vanderson P8. And Hugo Akesson finishes P9, a lap down. Gary Godzilla also a lap down, but he does finish in the top 10. So, Gary, you are personally my driver of the day. Again, Gary is an oval driver. Doesn't really like running road courses, barely runs them in the first place. And gets away with the top 10. So, awesome performance by Gary here tonight. But Torin Majid with an awesome drive here tonight. Let's follow him for a second here to see if he's going to do any donuts. And Lily can't breathe anymore. It's going to take a while to recover from this. And I think Torin is taking his in-lap extra slowly, trying to recover himself from that race. I'm going to ask him in the interviews if he was nervous or not. I think the answer is going to be a pretty straightforward yes. But I'm going to ask him anyway. Just an awesome performance by the rookie. Yes, he is a rookie in the series, but he's driven like a veteran here today. As the cars peel off the racetrack here. So I'll play a quick commercial break and we'll be right back for the race results and post-race interviews. I'm also going to update the standings whilst I play the commercial, so you guys have that up to date as well after this broadcast. So see you all in a minute for the race results and the driver interviews.
Do you struggle to survive around the toughest circuits? Are you fed up of making poor mistakes that end your races? Well, here at Apex Sage Coaching, we will help you reach your full driving potential. Whether it be a road course or an oval, we have a coach that will improve your ability. Over time, we will iron out those mistakes and make you become the driver you wish to be. And soon, you'll be making last lap passes for the win. For more information, reach out to us on Twitter at Apex Sage Coach.
Hello and welcome to another fantastic week of Formula One racing here on SLR. We pride ourselves on delivering top on-track action such as overtakes.
Oh, Danny on the inside. Sorry, Danny on the inside.
And of course, where would we be without some crashes and drama?
Pace around this track.
Oh, and spinning is Canopus. That is Microlander up the inside. No, Danny.
And lots more. What started out as a fun idea quickly developed and grew into one of the most influential and recognizable online F1 leagues across the F1 platform. Every new season saw more and more big names join the roster, all battling harder and harder to claim the coveted SLR title. This season will be like no other before it. The strongest lineup we have ever seen. Old champions rejoining to battle the new top dogs of SLR. All of the tiers in SLR are fielding their respective strongest to date, with much to fight for and achieve. But if you have come to witness Titans battle Titans, well, you've come to the right place. Welcome to Tier 1.
Alright, we are back here at Spa. As my web browser isn't really working, so I don't have the results available to me, unfortunately. But let's see if anybody's in the waiting room. And yes, there we go. We've got all the podium drivers in the interview room. How nice is that? So anyways, it's time for your post-race interviews. Actually, let's do the race results rundown first, so I can close the sim. Turan Majid takes a very impressive win on his first start in the series. Thomas Jensen finishes on P2, 4.4 seconds behind. Sepp Kinder takes a P3 after falling back a little bit earlier. Daniel Cofield was running in the top 3 all night long, but comes away with a P4 after a driver error. Geisler and Houston take P5 and P6. Merckx and Vanderson P7 and P8. Hugo Eckerson is the first car a lap down to finish P9. Gary Gotso on a pretty solid road course drive. Very impressive, actually. Let me change that to impressive. P10, a lap down. Not bad for an oval driver. Oscar Fredriksson got caught up in a lap 1 incident, finishes P11. Not the night he had hoped for. Matthew Green also, the same can be said for him, as well as Matthias Strauss, Patrick Sulfassi, Joseph Grajalfa, Lewis Woodall and Alaric van den Bos, all being involved in incidents at the first in the first lap, sorry. So those are your race results. And now it's time for your driver interviews here at Spa. So let's bring in Sepp Kinder first. I almost wanted to bring in Thomas Jensen. No offense, please. Sepp Kinder, congratulations on P3. We saw you...
Hey!
There you go, bro. We saw you fall back a little bit in the beginning of the race, but you came back to P3. Just quickly tell us about how your race went and how you took about the tire saving tonight.
Well, Julian, there is no tire saving with me. Okay. I don't have the technique to be that efficient with tires. But firstly, when we were all set at the beginning, I just all of these guys with black tires, and I was on those reds, and I was just like, I can pull something today. The crash at the start definitely helps with Oscar and don't remember who was the other who crashed. The 2 leaders crashing. And and just like, okay, I think it's my time to shine. I really believed I could win, but sadly I wasn't efficient enough on the hot tires to get back the gap. I lost. But man, I really like that fight at the end with Thomas. Just completely losing the rears, and he cut across, and just, that was so amazing. Like, I mean, Julian, what is it with me and Spa? Tell me!
I don't know, man. You did well on the entire race, and you did well here again. So something. I mean, it might be the European thing, right? That Spa here.
Yeah. Hey, if I am third in VOR, which won't happen, but if I am third again, I swear to God, like I'm just like, okay, there's something.
Well, if that happens, I'm sure you're gonna get really drunk tonight. But anyways,
yeah.
Great race from you tonight, man. Next week we have a break, but going into the Indy Road Course, how are you feeling for that old version of the IMS Road Course?
That will be a complete unknown for me. Very, very few races at Indy Road. Like, the only few races at is on the old F1 2002 game.
Oh. Okay.
Yep.
It's good practice.
It's good practice, indeed, with a GameCube controller.
Exactly. Well, at least you know the track. That's a bit of an advantage then. You don't have to...
Yeah, I know the track.
Yeah. Alright, that helps. But anyway, before I let you go, man, do you have any sponsors you want to shout out here tonight?
Ooh, there's quite a few of them. So shout outs to Anoran, sponsoring Team Watson Racing, James Watson, my team owner, NTWR, and Martin Sports. Check out the gear, it's awesome. And also thanks to my sister, who is again probably watching still. Well, I hope she's still watching. But woohoo, je suis troisième encore une fois.
Alright, awesome, man. Congratulations once again on P3, and look forward to seeing you, well, you and me tonight, but in the race here, maybe in the booth, in the interview room, in 2 weeks at the Indy Road Course.
Yeah.
Oh, just dragged him out by accident too soon. Alright, anyway, time to bring in Thomas Jensen here. Thomas, congratulations on P2, man.
Thank you.
So it was a bit of an interesting race, especially at the start, which put you up there. You also, I think, got the biggest mover. Let me quickly check if that was the case. Yes, you did get the biggest mover, up 11 positions from where you started. Please tell us about how you went into this race, your strategy, and how you went through the field to be right up there towards the end.
Well, I kind of messed up my quality big time. I could have gone P3, I think, and then I messed up both my laps. So I mean, just want to start on the primary and just take it easy to the end. I didn't expect anything big, like just the top 5 if I was lucky, but turned out 1, so that's good.
Well, you did really well tonight, so you can be happy about that performance. It's another podium for you and your team, so good job on that. Before I let you go, any shout-outs to any sponsors or any people out there?
Well, Torse or Tom and P1, we were just in a voice chat, probably not speaking a lot because we were focusing, so but like he did a great job also starting from P4, I think, and then just going out in front and beat fast, Especially he hasn't driven this car yet, so great performance by him.
Well, he did really well indeed, and so did you. So you can be happy about this performance. Congrats once again, and see you hopefully in 2 weeks from now at the Indy Road Course.
I will, yeah.
Okay, that was second place finisher Thomas Jensen. Let's bring in Torin. Man's muted. Can Mans unmute himself? Yes, thank you very much.
Hello.
Torin, I don't know what to say, dude. Congratulations.
Yeah, I don't really know how that happened, but I won on debut somehow, so
Yeah.
guess it's good.
Oh, man, your race was awesome. So, when you went into turn 1, you started P5, you saw everybody ahead go off. What was going through your mind?
It was, well, oh shit, I'm leading the race, basically. And I thought I'd just lead 1 lap, and then all the faster guys would come back, and I'll probably finish down P5 or something, but somehow managed to hold on.
Yeah, your pace was very impressive tonight as well. Just a question, because I know that you are very new to this car. How many hours, how many laps did you put in to learn this car around this track in the past week or 2?
Well, I've only really done all the practice, like, I don't know, about 20, 30 laps all today. I really haven't put that much time in because I just didn't have the time, so it's kind of why I was so surprised to be where I was in the race.
Well, Christmas is falling way earlier this year, apparently.
Yeah.
But you did great, man. I really don't know what else to add to that. So just an awesome drive by you. Congrats once again. Before I let you go, any sponsors you want to shout out or any people out there you wanted to thank?
Well, I guess I'll thank Thomas because he kind of guided me through the getting used to the IndyCar thing and adapting to the cars and stuff. And yeah.
All right. Well, thank you. And yeah, next week the Indy Road Course. So look forward to seeing you then. And also, I can't wait what you can do with some more time with this car. I think you're going to be a serious championship contender if you can keep this form up. So keep going, and yeah, there might be some good results coming your way. So.
Yep, and thank you for the comms.
No problem, man. Go out and celebrate.
I shall. Thanks.
All right, see you, man. So that was Torin. Yeah, I honestly don't know what to say. Just super impressive by Torin to just come into the race basically and be competitive right away. You heard him say that he did 20-30 laps of practice, which isn't too much. Like, of course, it's, well, 30 laps times 2 for minutes is about an hour of practice in total. So to learn the car that quickly is very impressive indeed. And like I just said to him as well, I can't wait to see what he can do later on in the season. I think he's going to be an actual championship threat if he learns this car and keeps progressing the way he's done here this week. But yeah, that concludes coverage here tonight from the Belgian Grand Prix. Later tonight we have the main VOR IndyCar series powered by Apex Age Coaching. Of course, Apex Age Coaching also provides a few setups in this series. I want to thank them for sponsoring the main and the Euro Series, as well as Majors Garage for the Euro Series, and also Slipstream League Racing. Check them all out. Links can be found in the description below. But yeah, like I said, we got the main race tonight, so tune in to the Captain Esports Network at 1 a.m. Central European Summertime. Yes, it's late, I know. 7 p.m. Eastern US time. 7:30 p.m. Eastern US time, sorry. That's when the stream goes live. So make sure to tune in there. And yeah, don't really have much else to add. So I want to thank everybody for watching, tuning in, supporting the drivers, supporting us, and most importantly, supporting the entire VOR community. It's all greatly appreciated. And yeah, see you all in 2 weeks for the Indy Road Course, and have a good night.
Do you struggle to survive around the toughest circuits? Are you fed up of making poor mistakes that end your races? Well, here at Apex Age Coaching, we will help you reach your full driving potential. Whether it be a road course or an oval, we have a coach that will improve your ability. Over time, we will iron out those mistakes and make you become the driver you wish to be. And soon, you'll be making last lap passes for the win. For more information, reach out to us on Twitter at Apex Age Coach.
Hello and welcome to another fantastic week of Formula One racing here on SLR. We pride ourselves on delivering top on-track action such as overtakes.
Oh, Danny on the inside. Sorry, Danny on the inside.
And of course, where would we be without some crashes and drama?
Pace around this track.
Oh, and spinning is Canopis. That is Microlander up the inside. No, Danny.
And lots more. What started out as a fun idea quickly developed and grew into one of the most influential and recognizable online F1 leagues across the F1 platform. Every new season saw more and more big names join the roster, all battling harder and harder to claim the coveted SLR title. This season will be like no other before it, the strongest lineup we have ever seen. Old champions rejoining to battle the new top dogs of SLR. All of the tiers in SLR are fielding their respective strongest to date, with much to fight for and achieve. But if you have come to witness Titans battle Titans, well, you've come to the right place. Welcome to Tier 1.